The concept of a spiral. In many cultures, specifically in Asian cultures, usually means something positive. Like, the spirals that they draw on the cheeks. And no, no, in Western culture, it's something different now. But no, it's supposed to mean something cute. Um, Spirals are on candy canes, for example, on lollipops, right? Spirals are on our fingertips. Spirals are even inside of us. How could such an innocent concept become something alike to a nightmare fuel? Something terrifying. Welcome to Check That Book. We get acquainted with arguably the most disturbing books ever written, various pieces of literature, and manga as well, sometimes. I picked Junji Ito's works because I myself I'm not a manga reader. I respect those of you who are, I get it, but it's just not my cup of tea. However, when it came to Junji Ito, I got familiar with his works by accident at a bookstore. A friend of mine showed me his book, but it was Tomie at the time. It fascinated me to no end. I have no idea why. I'm still, again, like with the Exorcist video, I'm still thinking, what was it that made me so fascinated and even enamored with a certain subject or a certain piece of work? There are many reasons. They're discussable, but one of the key moments, I believe, in case of Junji Ito, is not just the meticulous work, detailed drawings. I love myself some details, very lifelike depictions of things, even though something completely unrealistic is happening on the pH spread. But it's the lifelike depictions. And maybe it's a personal thing, but I do like myself some black and white imagery. As you can see from some pH spreads here, Junji Ito's work is quite detailed. Well, I've shown this book before. I'm very proud of this uh, spiral into horror that I have. In year 2000, we had our first live action film. There, I'm going to talk about the most notable adaptations. There were quite a few attempts here and there to create something akin to Uzumaki, but we're going to talk about the live action film and the 2024 miniseries. Yes, I've finally seen them. Links to my original reaction. The link will be in the description. So the year is 2000. Uzumaki, also known as Spiral, gets to see the world on February the 11th. This is a live action film loosely based on the manga. The story is put together into a single movie, albeit if you read the manga, then you know that it consists of many different stories. Although we have our set of main characters throughout the manga. This film captures the surreal and unsettling atmosphere of the source material, but takes creative liberties due to time constraints and production limitations. This film received quite some praise for its eerie effects and overall atmosphere. It's quite spooky, but a lot of fans found it lacking. You can see why. Um, it is lacking in fully capturing the depth and horror of the manga. Also, well, the quality, let's just say, even for the year 2000, I mean, we had Jurassic Park made in late 90s, so could have been better. Could have been better. 2024, however, brought us the animated series that a lot of admirers of the genre and of Junji Ito in particular were looking forward to. What I would like to say first and foremost about this one, after having finally watched those, it's just a 4 episode mini-series. And that is probably my biggest issue with this, and my only issue with this adaptation. I'm not a fan of smaller miniseries. Just not my vibe, you know. It's albeit it's aimed at faithfully recreating the manga story and visual style, which does quite a good job at. Junji Ito himself has expressed enthusiasm about this adaptation, highlighting its focus on staying true to the manga's unsettling tone and intricate artwork. And like I said, Junji Ito's drawings are very delicate and intricate and detailed. So the series is produced in black and white, which is very faithful to the original manga, and I think it does it justice. It reflects the original manga's aesthetic. Also, the soundtrack. It is composed by Colin Stetson, known for his haunting and atmospheric work, adding to the eerie vibe of this series, which was also a big plus in my opinion. As for whether it fully captures the psychological dread of the source material, well, it was one of the most anticipated horror anime projects, and to each their own. I would say it was pleasant, albeit not really the way I would have done it. But then again, I am no professional in this industry. Are both works horrifying? Yes, of course. And if you look at the gap between the two adaptations, then obviously there are reasons why the first one didn't receive as much of praise as the latter one did. It's understandable. We have a time gap. We have the industry was a bit handicapped at the time. That's understandable. Not everyone had proper resources. Like I joked, I didn't quite joke, but like I've mentioned I mentioned Jurassic Park, right? It was the first film was made in '93, and the effects there are still up to par with some proper standards of filmmaking and visual effects. I mean, that's at least what the critics say, and that's what the majority of moviegoers say, myself included, obviously. I am a fan of well made visual effects and animatronics, if you can use them. With Junji Ito, well, maybe. I mean, maybe if you asked Guillermo del Toro to do the work, maybe we would have ourselves a very interesting adaptation. Yeah, sounds like Del Toro to me. So these adaptations, they both approach Uzumaki in different ways. One as a standalone movie with creative liberties, let's give them that, and the other as a faithful, serialized anime that embraces the manga's essence. Both are significant for different reasons in Junji Ito's growing legacy of horror. Uzumaki is considered a cosmic horror, sort of this existential horror. There's a plethora of videos regarding Ito's work and specifically Uzumaki. Many people call it Ito's magnum opus. I believe that to each their own again, but the 2024 series, well, did they do manga justice? Sort of, yes. I mean, it's definitely better than the 2000s live adaptation. But again, as a book lover, I would suggest manga. Seriously. It's just so much more exciting. It will always be. First of all, the Japanese, they, you know, the way you read the manga, it's different, right? You read it from the so-called wrong side, from to us Westerners, this is the wrong side. And it's so cool. It's bizarre, and I love it. I'm here for it. I want to learn something new and put my mind to work. Read a book upside down or whatnot. Yes, give me more of that. So I believe it is a good thing, and it puts your mind to work. And it's not as easy. When I first tried reading Ito's works, I got confused quite a few times, and I had to reread. I suggest the book over any adaptation in this case. Ito's works are meant to be touched, are meant to be explored, I believe. So I wouldn't even recommend an online version if there is such a thing. I would recommend getting your hands on one of these if you can. Go to your local library and see if they have it. Or, like I said, do purchase. Do support the author, right? And also, I mean, seriously, this is a pleasant hold, and it looks pleasant. It feels pleasant. I am doing an advertisement for Junji Ito right now. Ito? Mr. Ito? Well, whilst I'm promoting Junji Ito's book here, I may as well just take this opportunity again to promote my own. Yes, it's not as thick as Ito's.
Oh my.
No, sir, but it's my baby nonetheless, and the one I'm very satisfied with. You can purchase Misanthropically Inclined, my poetry collection, with some interesting thoughts here and there, and let me tell you, the ebook version is much shorter than the hardback. It's lacking some things, and not just the illustrations, so obviously I would recommend the hardback. It's just such a pleasure to hold, really, much like Junji Ito's Uzumaki, albeit it's heavy as fuck. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like disturbing content, consider giving this video a boost in the form of an erect thumb, and make sure to subscribe for more. I will see you all soon. Meanwhile, take good care of yourselves and your loved ones, ladies and gentlemen, and bye. Go watch some adaptations or read the original source material.